Hey, what's going on, guys? We're up here at Reaction RC Hobbies in Grand Rapids, Michigan on Plainfield. You can check out their little brochure here and give them a quick shout out. And you can see how awesome this place is. That course is being worked on, that mini course there. But I know this place really well, so I thought it'd be great to bring the Redcat Ascent Apex up here to give it a test on these rocks, because these are the rocks I know the best. As I was saying, the tire wheel combo, I feel like if it just had more weight, might be a little better. So Travis lent me a couple of his wheels that he said he had. And so I'm gonna put these on here and we'll give it a try. I feel like the wheels that he has here weigh as much as the truck, with just the truck, everything. These wheels and tire combo weigh the same as this truck. So I think it's gonna add some weight down low, and it's gonna help out some of the things that I felt like where it was tipping over. Adding a little bit of that weight might kind of keep it a little more planted. So we'll see, but we're gonna get on these rocks that I know a little better and see how she does. All right, so our first test is box stock still. And just giving it a run to see how it does on some of the lines that we do at the comps here, and if it would do well. The turning radius is definitely insane. And actually for this course, it's pretty grippy. So these tires will probably hook up pretty good. There's a lot of cement in this here clay, so let's see, we walk across the top of this sometimes, and then we have to turn down and in here, which it'll do. Ooh, you can see that back end raising. It's that light rear end. The weight bias at 6 feet 40 front is 60. So there's times when it starts going downhill like that where I feel like that back end just does not have what it needs to stay planted. That was pretty nice. So much steering. So it's just kind of walking through a lot of this. Pushing on that, that's a typical thing, not just these tires do. Pretty slick stuff right there. But it's getting up on this stuff, not a problem. We'll bring it down and around here, kind of how we do. Just running some lines I know we've run in the past, which would come across here. It's kind of holding that pretty good. Get that front end to drop in here. Did pretty good. We come around this. And up and over the top of this. All of this is no problem. Even some pretty crazy steering and turning on hills it's doing pretty good at. So this train is definitely different than what I was running at my house and what I was running on Rick's. Rick's was really slippery this past weekend. This has got some pretty high bite to it. Just about getting the wheels moving. All right, so it did well over here on the 18th scale course. I'll try some of these lines that are still over here that we have that I know are pretty tricky. You can see how they build this stuff. They use some different shapes and things and ledges before they put all the dirt in. It's got plastic down below it. All this has been broken up. Oh, it's all stacked here. So we're gonna have to go at least this far to get in here and get started. But there's a lot of lines I know from over here as well that we do. Just coming through here. We've done some climbing up this thing, and it's slippery. Did pretty well. Another tricky one we do is if we come from back here, Kind of finding a line. Now this is a really wide truck, so a lot of these gates would be narrow for this, and so it's getting a little extra reach that we wouldn't have with the 24 scale. Oh, and that happens quite a lot actually. That is not the first time I've seen a car flip over on this. Won't be the last. It definitely hooks you on the back there and wants to start flipping you over. Especially the more that I turn that way, it's gonna get worse. So I need it to hop right here. If I start going to the right, it really digs under. Oh, it looked like it was going there for a second. There it was. So let me try it again. I bet if I had just done wheel speed from the beginning, we might have been in a better place. I'll try and get back over that same line. Here we go. Yeah, I just need a wheel speed. It had it that whole time. I was just afraid to give it to it after that one colossal fail flipping over backwards. Oh, that's a reverse. Oh, now a hand of God. All right. Let's see up here what we got. We usually high center on this. This just clears over. These are big, tall tires. Easy clearance. Coming around the side here. A lot of times we'll force it up and over this. I might have to reverse. Ooh. Nope. Just gonna fight through. All right, we're gonna climb up this face here. No problem. I'm gonna cut it right here. Also no problem. Gonna drop down this, which it does look slippery. And this is a very, we roll over here a lot if you don't do it right. And it feels like I'm set up to roll. I'm gonna back it back up there and do that again. Whoa, try and get a different angle. Try and go for a different angle on this one here. See how it does. See, it wants to force that. That's still handling it really well. That's a pretty tough spot right there. We got lots of those on this course. That's what's really fun about running here is Jeff's built this in such a way that it's tricky and you just put the gates in the right spot and then one area can go from being what seems easy to being quite difficult very quickly. I don't know why I was doing that. It just seemed fun and like it looked cool. Look at it crawl right out of that. It is a little bit like a spider. It's crazy. All right, so it's actually handling really well. I'm gonna go ahead and switch the tires anyway, and we'll get a feel for what feels different. You can really see how much that narrows it up. Look at that to that. Quite a bit. All right, I got the new wheels and tires on it on loan from Travis, and they look a lot better on it. The truck looked a little wide, so the body feels really out of place, kind of. It's just floating there. This kind of scales it up a little bit, still seems a bit small. But definitely, I think, an improvement in looks, unless you like that really oversized wheel, small, tiny body look. But I think this is definitely a better look. It almost feels like it doubled the weight of the truck. It's crazy. We hit this last time. Ooh, kickback. Oh, did we break? We broke the drive shaft. And we just popped it. We popped it out. All right, that was easy enough to fix. Just unscrewed from the axle here, pulled this off, reattached it, and then put it back on. So I will say, I give this thing a lot of positives out of the box. Really, really, really solid rig. You know, aesthetically, I like the smaller tires like this, but the other ones did pretty well. Here's the one thing though, that regardless of any of that, you have a 3S power plant in this with tons of power, 3S power through a brushless system, all kinds of power. And that plastic drive shaft is gonna be a break point if it gets bound up. See there, I was able to find a line. But it is the path of least resistance right now. And there's a lot of torque that gets applied to it by this motor system in here on 3S, because you've got all that speed and power. It's zippy, you can hear it. All that torque to that plastic yoke, and it can go. So we have a lot more weight down low. It's going to change up our ratio a little bit, even though they're equally applied with brass in them. It's going to make the percentages a little different, but I think it's worth it for the down low weight that we're getting. It feels much more substantial. I know how can you feel it when you're not in it, you're not touching it physically or any of that, but you can kind of just, if you've driven these enough, you get a feeling for what you expect it to do and what it looks like when it is driving, and it looks and feels a whole lot more planted to me. It doesn't want to just slide around as much. When I turn the servo steering, it doesn't want to just throw the back end because it's so light. So that's a bonus, because that's what I was really feeling, was especially you weren't getting a lot of weight down on those wheels. However, that may mean something for our battery life, because I just ran out. Because I did run this when I was at the Gauntlet and I haven't recharged it. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead. I've got this new charger. I'm gonna go ahead and charge it up while I'm here. Come back and run it some more. Got this CCxRC B6 Neo, which is really slick. And my buddy Mitch printed this little piece here that screws on to this 12-volt adapter you get for like when the kids power wheels or whatever. And then I just soldered on this XT60 to go in for power to the side and charge it up right here. All right, there we go. She's charging. At basically 0.4 amps, so it's 2C. All right, so we got the batteries recharged. Just did a few reels on them. And now we'll see how these tires feel. The weighting, like I said earlier, feels way better with the heavier wheel. Everything about it, just kind of the way that it reacts and acts, feels good. We definitely are missing some of the bite of those other tires though. At least on this slick stuff. Now to the hard line, but we kind of already figured out the path for this is to just hit it with some speed, but we'll see if these tires do something. Well, they just walked right up it. They walked right up it. Wow, okay. A little narrower, change things up a little. Go through this crazy rock garden here. Little wheel speed for the win on that. See if we still get the clearance over this. Still have ground clearance. Hooking up just fine on all of this. We'll actually hook it back around and cut back for that hill. All right. We want to do the hill climb. And then we'll come back down the other side like we did with the other one where it kind of was tippy. Steep hill, missed the groove, still made it. Oh, we got it. Let me try and go down from here. See if I can keep my speed going like I did the other one. All right. The grippy tire definitely did a little better on that. I could feel these slipping more than it was. Oh, I just wheeled it down, so we gotta try again. Yeah, the knobby tire definitely had played that a little better. Did not make this. There we go. I had a much easier time making that corner. All right, so here we go. We're gonna come down this and see how it does. So it slides just like the other ones, but the back end isn't lifting as much. A little bit more controlled. Still chaos, controlled chaos there. Not my favorite line ever. Whenever I see that, it's usually a winch. But it didn't roll, it kind of held itself together. So that was nice. All right, so it's doing good here. Let's go back and try a couple lines over on the other table. Since this one's under construction, we'll try climbing this backside here. That's always a little bit tricky because there's a lot of spots where you can get kind of hung up on ledges and stuff. Well, the weight is definitely there. It's not bouncing the same. Still rolled it. There we go, come on. All right. Nicely done. Sounds like it's raining. Is it raining? Oh, maybe it's the HVAC. Something got louder in here. It must be the HVAC. But I'm digging this overall, this platform. Definitely liking the narrower stance of it, smaller tire. But now it's just finding the tire that I'd want to use. It's always the question. People try so many tires are out there. I've kind of landed on the scramblers and the high racks and the J Concepts trenchers or their megalithics. They're pretty comparable in my opinion. Bound up a bit, there, brakes free. There, oof. Gnarly line. Let's just climb up this steep part here, if it can. Sometimes I just think it's gonna be easy, and then it's not. There it is. Sticking with it. It's definitely got the capabilities. It's just waiting on it sometimes. Waiting for the tires to dig. But they do. Even these ones are hooking up really good. We definitely have to use the speed on certain things here when the back ends and all that get hooked up. But yeah, you can see it's light in the back here, but not as light as it was. So that weight is definitely an improvement. So definitely would be a recommendation of mine to get some wheel weights in there. And somehow just get some down low weight, whether it's adding their brass portals or other brass pieces that they've got available. So anyway guys, really solid rig from Redcat once again. These 18 scale Ascents, all of them, you really can't go wrong. They're all for different people. You know, so there's gonna be people that want the brushless Scout because they love the Scout body, more scale looking body, more realistic in ways. There's gonna be people that like the Power Wagon because it's narrower and they can get their wheels on things because the body doesn't cover them. And then there's going to be people that want the full-on comped out rig like this, where it's just kind of almost cartoonish with the big tires and wide stance and the tiny, tiny body, but it's super capable as you're seeing here. This is a really capable rig. I think just a simple thing like changing out the wheels and tires on this makes it look a whole lot better. So anyway, thanks for tuning in as always, guys. Have fun RC and let me know what you think of this thing in the comments. Which one would be up your alley? Are you more the Scout kind of guy? Don't need it to be comped out, but you want the brushless power? Are you fine with the brush one and saving money and getting some other upgrades? Because that brush motor is pretty smooth as well. So, or do you like the Power Wagon or the Apex? Which of those 4 options suits you the best? Anyway, have fun RCing, guys. Catch you next time.